I've seen so many people say that dental implants are too expensive. People really are thinking, I could never afford having anything that nice, or even, is it worth it? The fear is totally there and it's valid. But I'll tell you, Emily, the belief that it's impossible, that's what I see proven wrong all the time in this community.
Shay, most people have already spent so much time and money trying to fix their smile, only to get let down time after time. So when people say dental implants are too expensive or they think it's totally out of reach, it makes sense. That fear is valid, right? But what's interesting is that you support this huge Facebook community of over like 100,000 people looking to get dental implants. And you've seen both sides of this. You see the fear and doubts about the cost, but you also see real everyday people finding a way to afford it every day. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how real people are actually making this possible. You ready to dive in?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get to it. So, just so we have a little bit more context here, can you tell us more about this Facebook group that you do support? What's actually happening inside this community?
Yeah, so I support a community that's so special. It's called the Smile Maker Club, and it's real people sharing real experiences about their journey towards full mouth dental implants. And it's specifically Nuvia's permanent teeth in 24 hours. But what's cool about it is that there's people from every angle of the journey, right? So whether people are researching, if they're waiting for their consultation, if they're preparing for surgery, or if they're already in the process of healing, it's everyone. And so we're all just here to ask questions, share stories, and support each other through it. And it's a place to learn from each other. There's a lot of people who feel alone and scared. And so it just makes a big difference when people can feel supported and safe in a way that they're not alone, right? So yeah, it's great. People realize that they're not crazy for being scared and they're not alone in this. And sometimes I think about it like this, where with dental issues, you don't really want to talk about that with your friends and sometimes even your family. And so
Totally.
if you can just go into this group where everyone's kind of in the same boat, it just feels safer. So that's the community.
Wow, that is so incredible. And the fact that there's like over 100,000 people in there too is wild. It sounds like a great place to get support. I am curious though, what have you actually seen people say about the cost aspect of things? Like, what does that fear look like in the post or the comments that you see in there?
Oh, such a good question. For sure. Yeah, costs come up all the time. It's really one of the biggest things that people worry about. It's a big decision, right? We're talking about people's smiles, their confidence, their future, health, trust, even. So, yeah, like you can look at some of these posts and you can see people really are thinking, I could never afford having anything that nice, or even, is it worth it? The fear is totally there and it's valid. But I'll tell you, Emily, the belief that it's impossible, that's what I see proven wrong all the time in this community.
No way. Okay, so people are coming in talking about how, "Oh, there's no way I could afford it." But then you said you're seeing the opposite of that too, where people are making it happen despite those fears. So tell me more. Can you give us like an actual example of maybe someone who had these fears but then found a way to make it work?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. So many stories. But one in specific here is Linda. And she actually joined the Facebook group and started sharing her fears from the beginning. And she was really honest. And I seriously love that for her because it's scary, right? Like you're in this very vulnerable stage. You're freaking out, honestly, like it's scary. But yeah, so Linda here, she mentions that she's really afraid that she couldn't afford it. And then after her free consultation, she said that she's a candidate. So now she's just in this phase of trying to figure out how to make it happen. But you could tell she had some real concerns, and especially about the cost, whether it was even possible for her.
Okay, so she went to her consultation, but was still hesitant, like, how am I going to make this work? Well, what happened after that? Did she go through with it? And do people usually post their updates like this along the way?
Yeah, so that's the cool thing about the group. People really do share parts of their journey with us. And for Linda, yes, she went through with it. She was even posting up until surgery day, but on surgery day, she posted saying everything went well and she couldn't wait until her teeth were put in the next day, which was so cool to see because everybody jumped in the comments and cheered for her and supported her. I mean, this was a big day for her. It was surgery day. We're talking here. It's a big day. And so she had a whole community with her, and that's what it's all about. No one is alone in this.
That is really cool. I can't imagine going through something so big and having, like, a huge support system online of people we've never even met. So that sounds like a really cool thing that she got to experience. But, before you were just saying how, hey, she was so scared of, hey, how am I gonna make this work? Am I gonna be able to afford it? And then went from that to, hey, I just got them done. So I do want to talk about that. But first, she does mention in her post getting her teeth the next day. So let's break that down first. What does that even mean? Is she getting a temporary set the next day? What does that look like?
So with Nuvia, you actually go in for surgery, get your teeth out and your implants placed, and then you'll come back 24 hours later to get your permanent smile. So it's not a temporary set. Like traditional processes, typically you have a temporary set for even up to 10 months. It's a really long time to have a piece of acrylic or something in your mouth that you're healing in. And so, yeah, 24 hours later, you'll get your permanent, real custom teeth. And it's beautiful. It's the moment that changes for a lot of people because this is their fear. They don't want to go 10 months with a temporary set. They want the real permanent set as fast as possible. You know? So, yeah, these teeth that you see in her mouth here, she got those the day after surgery. She's in her permanent custom set. They're not coming out. And if you want to learn more about the 24-hour process, just check out the information and cost guide in the description below.
That is, like, really incredible to hear that 24 hours later, someone is getting a permanent set of teeth, and like you said, they don't have to be dealing with, a temporary set for who knows how long, and who knows how much that's gonna cost over time as well. Speaking of cost, let's get back to the money side of things because obviously that's what we're here talking about. That's what stops a lot of people. So what do you think helped Linda realize that she can actually do this? What allowed her to switch from "I'm terrified" to "Hey, I'm gonna go get it done"? What do you think happened?
Yeah, so I feel like with Linda, there were two really big things that made a difference for her. So I noticed with a lot of people that it's deeper than the cost itself and the fear of the price tag. For Linda, in one of her posts, she actually says, I have decided that my grandbabies deserve a happier grandma and my husband deserves a happier wife. And most importantly, that I deserve to be happy. I am worth it. How beautiful is that?
Wow, so you're saying that a lot of people you see in the group, it's not just about the cost itself, it's like a deeper reason, and for Linda, it was her family. So that was the first reason, but what was the other reason, that you think made this possible? Because there's still this, payment that she needs to make, right? So what was that?
Yeah, so I think the second thing that helped her was the support and the proof that she saw from others in the community. She wasn't alone, and she actually got to experience real people talking about their financing stuff, sharing how they made it work and celebrating their results. I mean, people were encouraging her, saying things like, you deserve this, or where there's a will, there's a way. Do it, absolutely worth the investment. Nuvia does offer financing options as well. It's like people like Trisha, where she was there years ago. She had surgery in 2022, and it was the best decision for her. That kind of community proof, seeing that it's possible for other people who are like her, that's what helped Linda move from I wish I could to I can.
Wow. Okay. So the support from others and also the education it sounds like the group was giving her on, hey, there's options available. So did she get financing options or like what does that usually look like for somebody?
Yeah, honestly, it's how a lot of people do it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, about 92% of Nuvia patients use payment plans. So it's really not about the pile of cash. It's about finding something that fits you and your budget with where you're at right now. I mean, life is just so heavy as it is. And so if you can finally fix something that's been holding you back, Nuvia does have payment plan options and it's a good route to go.
I do want to stop you there, Shay, because obviously financing does make things a lot easier, but people still have to make these monthly payments. So, from what you've seen in the group, over 100,000 people, how are people even affording those monthly payments? Like, what have you seen there?
That's a good question, Emily. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people get creative to make this happen for them. I mean, I've seen people who, just look over their budget. They make changes. They take equity out on their house to pay for it, or they'll use their 401k. I mean, Sean, for example, bless his heart, he cut out smoking. So he was no longer buying cigarettes. He also cut out Starbucks runs so he could make room for a monthly payment that would better his health. People will find a way.
Wow, so even though some things, like, as small as, like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna stop going to Starbucks," like, that stuff can really, like, add up. Like, if you think about it and sit down and take a look at that, I could see how that could, help you pay for your dental implants, that's pretty amazing. I'm also curious, since this is a permanent solution, something that is not made to, like, come out of your mouth, have you seen people, like, talking about saving them money in the long run too, and maybe that's even helped them, you know, feel like they could afford this?
Yeah, I have. And one thing that sticks out is a lot of people are paying for temporary band-aids. They're going in once a month or several times a month just for these temporary fixes that end up failing. They've been let down so many times and they put so much money into these temporary fixes. So once you take that away, they can use that money towards a permanent solution for them.
That makes a lot of sense. I know a lot of people are probably curious though, like how much do these payment plans look like each month? What would this cost me? So where can people find out more information about that part of it?
Yeah, Emily. So I had mentioned earlier that information and cost guide. There's a lot of helpful information there. So it'll be in the description below, but that's a good resource for people to kind of gauge what that can look like.
All right. Awesome. Well, moving on, we've followed Linda from being scared about the cost to making it happen. But how is she feeling about it all now? Is she still posting? What does she think about her new smile?
Yeah, so Linda, she's just the cutest. She did not disappear after surgery. It is selfie city up in here. She has not stopped posting since. And this is my favorite part of the group. She has this newborn confidence. She's pumped to share it. She's radiating in just beauty and glow. And it's just, you can visually see that she's feeling so much better about herself. And now it's like a full circle moment because she's now supporting and encouraging other people who are in the same shoes as she was once in. Full circle, baby.
Wow. And at the beginning of this episode, you told me you've seen this time and time again, right? So is this happening like all the time where you see someone go from, hey, I don't think I can afford this, but then they make it happen?
Yes, this happens all the time. And it's the beauty in the group, right? We're all here to just support each other through all different phases of the journey. We're all in it together, and it's the best.
Well, Shay, thank you so much for bringing this to light today. Obviously, cost is a huge concern when it comes to dental implants, which again is valid, but you've shown us that there are many possibilities, ones that people might not realize to make it happen. And sometimes we might just need a little push, right?
Exactly. Yeah, sometimes it helps to just talk with other people who are in the same boat as you. It gives you that support and that little push, like you said, to actually know what's reachable. You're not alone in this.
For those watching, don't forget to check out that cost guide that Shay mentioned earlier. It's in the description. And until next time,
Keep smiling.